Something wrong with. I heard it beep. Sure. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Heard it beep. Sure. Okay, let's see what's going on.
Testing. Did everyone see my video on awesome fun things?
Okay.
Hello, Internet.
And we're live! Hey, guys. Robert Lee here, the executive video producer and founder of ShaLaLaLa Productions, where we create marketing videos, as well as providing a live streaming service focusing in the education and the medical field, and with a specialty pop culture. And I'm here with
Matt Haas. I have a YouTube channel. Yay! Go check it out. It's called All Things YouTube. Not surprisingly, we talk about all things YouTube. More specifically, how to make searchable videos people watch. That's my new tagline. What do you think of that?
That's a mouthful for sure. Which, if you're hungry, it's not a bad thing to say. So,
I'm always hungry.
so, pretty much like what we said in the post that it's a Q&A. So it's all about you, the viewers, with any questions that you have with us, whether it's all things YouTube, video production, live streaming, video marketing, and things I'm running out of fingers to hit upon. But we're here, and we'll take them all. No question is too large or small to tackle. While we're, I guess you could say, as we're waiting for the questions to pile in, how are things going with you, Matt?
Very good. I am getting ready to launch a new product. Can you believe it?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. What's it about?
Sellable product. I am going to be doing. I've yet to name this product, but it's going to be a deep dive review of a YouTube channel where I get a little bit of ideas about your goals. I'm going to do an extensive review of your YouTube channel, looking across 25 different verticals. I'm going to do a report that's going to capture every item, rank every item how you're doing, and then, if needed, give you a remediation plan to make that item better across 25 different things, probably more than 25. And then we're going to get together. I'm either going to do a video of the report and give it to you, or we can do a one-on-one, and I can go over the report with you. And then you'll have the tools you need to make your YouTube experience better, to grow your audience, and to obviously make searchable videos people watch. So I'm getting that product ready to go, and we'll see if anyone takes me up on it. And I figure I can do a couple reviews a week. I'll have to limit the orders at first because I can't do 20 in a week, but we'll see.
Nice. When it comes hot and heavy and you look a little, we'll know why. So we got our first question in, and it's from our good friend Jim Bashirs. He asks, what streaming software are you using? I like the header and the round corner thingings. Well, right now we're using vMix, the stream-in for the program. As for the roundy thing, that actually it's an overlay that I had created using Adobe, I think Illustrator, and it just so happens that a good mutual friend of ours, John Kowaleski, gave a little bit of a quick tutorial of how to create overlays, and it just so happens that we kind of curved the sides there. So that's this. I don't know if I would say secret sauce, but that's what we use, and that's how it's made.
Jim, I use a similar piece of software that does the same thing as vMix does, called Ecamm, and Ecamm is for Macs, and vMix, as Robert mentioned, is for PCs. So those are the two premier software packages for doing live streaming with a full production and overlays. You can also use OBS Studio. That's free for Mac and Windows, and that doesn't have as many features.
Yeah.
Particularly the feature to throw up a single comment like this. vMix Studio, as far as I know, can't do it. It can put the whole scroll up on your screen, but not targeted one single comment like that. So.
And the only other software I know that exists along with OBS is XSplit, and I know they're very heavy in the plug and plays of the feature. Well, we already know what Matt thinks, but just so you know, there are other options.
Let's not talk about anything other than OBS Studio, vMix, and Ecamm. In my opinion, everything else it has one issue or two that they're off the table as far. We have two premium products, what you and I are using, and we have a free product. I think that's good to go. And yeah.
And a good friend Paul from sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Mark Lindsay CNC will yell at me if I didn't have an opportunity to talk about my affiliate link. If you go to allthingsyoutube.com/ecamm, spelled with two M's, ECAMM, then you'll sign up with my affiliate code. So if you want Ecamm, use my affiliate code.
Well, now since we did grant you moderating privileges, if you want to flash the link in the chat on YouTube, go right ahead.
I have moderator privileges?
Don't you remember?
I do. I have a wrench. I forgot about that. Oh, man.
I'm surprised you haven't done I'm like, wouldn't that be easier? But while he's doing that, and I get to indulge, considering this is I've got the fingers to the button. We have Paul from Live Audio Productions. Hey, Paul. Robert, I just watched your interview with Paul Michael Glazer. Brilliant. Used to love watching him and David Soul, plus the guy that plays Huggy. Thanks, Paul. It's oh God, I gotta remember this is 2021. It was like 4 years ago. I was covering for excuse me a pop culture website that's big on comics, TV shows, and stuff. So yeah, I had a great time to be able to interview him. It was pretty funny for sure. It took me a while to get the nerves out before I talked to him, but I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And if you see me kind of like I don't know if I would say stammer, but if you can kind of see me kind of like slight deer in the headlights, it's probably me briefly thinking, "Am I interviewing him?"
Get it together. Get it together, Robert.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Cool.
And as Matt had mentioned about the affiliate link, it's right there on the YouTube live chat stream, which is right there, and I'll try to provide that in the.
Do we have anyone watching over on the Facebooks?
I'm gonna go put that in there. If you can just send that to me um, by the instant message, I'll put it over there because I think I see Dave Jones watching there, so I want to be able to get that to him.
David Jones. How are you, David? Just type in all caps so I can see you. I don't monitor the Facebook chat as a co-host and guest of the VMix call.
But where? Oh wait, I think I got it. Let's see. Yep, as Paul detests, yeah. Fanboyish, starstruck, check, and check. So,
Tell you what, man. One thing I picked up from my uncle is he will go up to anyone and just start talking to them like they're his best friend, even celebrities. It's just flawless. Now, he was a salesman all his life, so he sort of has that characteristic about himself. But yeah, he'd go up to anyone and he would just start talking. And I'm like, that's a great skill to have just to get through life, not even a business skill. That's just if you can talk to anyone and be comfortable with it, and you can open up a lot of doors. Because let's face it, you can't get anywhere without people. Like you sell something online, you're selling to people. Like you're going to get a job interview, people hire you, and people within the company recommend. The world is filled with people, so get good at talking to people. And yeah, no starstruck. So maybe I'm glad you have that under your belt, Robert. Maybe the next time you'll be a little less starstruck. Practice.
Although I had to quickly get out of the Star Trek. Star Trek. I'm actually kind of teasing at the next comment mode because the next interview I spoke with later, I talked to J.G. Hertzler, and he played like the Klingon General Martok. So that was fun. At the time he was like running for Congress in New York, so I had a chance to pick his brain. It was pretty funny because when it first started out, just asking what he's doing, he had a chance to kind of share his platform, and then before that, we started geeking out. But he's a really friendly guy. I'll never forget it because the day after, because like I was there for I think 2 days. The second day, as I'm like pulling in the parking lot, all of a sudden I hear this, "Hey Robert!" and I see it's JG going. I'm like,
Nice.
hey. By then,
And you said he was a Klingon. What's his character?
General Martok.
Did you open the conversation with Kapla?
I probably wasn't sure how to pronounce it, so I think I chickened out in saying that, but he did. But he did. When I asked him to do like a teaser for their website, he was in full General Martok mode, which is pretty funny. Which is like saying, essentially it's like saying, if you don't watch the website, I'm gonna come out and hunt down and kill you or something like that. I'm like, oh, this is good.
The Klingon High Council will support my actions in avenging my father's death. Tim Bashir says, it's hard to be open if you aren't used to it. I was doing sales for 23 years, and that was the hardest part. Yeah, right on, brother. It's a learned skill, and it's a skill that you master over time. You don't get good overnight. I was elected school director, speaking in public meetings twice a month for 6 years. That helped. And then I started a YouTube channel back in 2014, 2015, I think. Yeah, so been slow grind.
Yeah, I know. Like, for me, oh god, how long ago was this? I think there's different clubs called a Toastmasters club, and they would help you get practice to present the talk, kind of like help you get out of your shell. So I sat in a couple of the meetings, and it was pretty neat just to hear that the different techniques they use to help you either get out of your shell or how to present. So yeah, I mean, anytime you have opportunity to practice, whether it's in a public forum or just even like in virtual, it's always a good thing because you can only get better through repetition, practice, and everything.
Yeah. Do you know what like the pinnacle of that is?
What's that?
I would classify that as open mic night. If you go to open mic night, that's different than speaking up in a conference room. That's because, you're on stage, the lights are on you, everyone's looking and paying attention to you. It's like it's public speaking on hard mode. I went to an open mic night before the pandemic, and I just said to myself, I want to speak in complete sentences and I want my sentences to make sense. That's my goal. Like if I'm funny on top of it, like I almost don't care. And I did. I delivered my material. I wasn't funny, but I delivered my material and it made sense what I was saying. And I gave it the old college try.
I remember like back in the day when I was I think it was when I was a freshman in college. They had back then MTV had a game show called Remote Control.
Yeah.
So they had like an open casting for like the be like a contestant. So I signed up. So I passed the Q&A, I mean the multiple choice or whatever it was, and then they asked you to like they want you to go up on stage and just say anything for a minute. I'm sitting in the stairs on the seats, just trying to think what I'm gonna do. And well, I mean, back then I watched a lot of like late night TV. You had Letterman, Carson, and all that. So I figured, well, maybe I'll just try to treat it like an MC mode. It can't hurt where you just get the audience involved. See, early back then I knew engagement was key. So, but that's a side note. Anyway, so it came time for me to go up there on stage and. All I remember was like I was just asking questions to the audience, say, "Hey, how's everybody doing?" And and then after I ran out of questions to ask the audience, I'm like, I turned to the guy who's like like picking people. I said, "How much time do I have left?" He said, "You have 30 seconds." I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "Out of the hell with that." It's like, well, either I'm gonna bomb or I might go through. I said, "Hey, does anyone remember the TJ Maxx song?" And they go, "Yeah." So I sang a few lines of that commercial, and then I got off the stage. Somehow I got past that line, past that. Then,
Yeah.
But then the last stage where you had
Nice.
to like practice, I was so slow with the buzzer that I didn't make the final cut. But I mean, it was pretty fun to kind of go up there and just kind of not just wing it, but also just kind of like try different things. Because who knows, if it works, great. If not, it didn't. Luckily, it worked for me. But then I just was too slow at the buzzer.
Speaking of MTV, I applied to be on the second season of The Real World. Remember The Real World? No, I submitted an application. What?
No. I mean, I haven't heard that show in a while. So when you mentioned it, I'm like, oh wow, okay, that's not too far
Yeah.
for me, but it's far enough for other people who've seen it. But go ahead, I want to hear this.
But there's not much more to say. Like I applied and I got you had to apply by postal mail because this was back in the 90s. And I got a letter back saying I didn't make the first round. I was like, oh well. Oh, speaking of remote control.
Yes.
Do you know which celebrity got their start on remote control?
So there was Colin Quinn, who was one of the co-hosts. Adam Sandler was the stud boy. And
That's who I was gonna say, Adam Sandler. Yeah.
I think I can't remember if he was there that on that show, but yeah, it was it was pretty wild that day.
Adam Sandler was a nut. It's like, is that a good thing? Is the world a better place that Adam Sandler was in it? Because he makes so many bad movies. So many bad movies. They have like one good movie and like 20 bad movies. And they keep hiring him and they keep throwing money at him. He must. Anyway.
Okay,
No
so
hate on Adam Sandler, but man, he's
which begs the question: what one good movie was the good movie to you?
what was a good, are you asking me what my favorite movie is? Oh, no question. The Fifth Element. The number one top movie of all time, The Fifth Element.
He was in The Fifth Element.
Oh, you asked, I asked if you wanted my all-time best movie. Are you asking my all-time favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah. You said there was only one out of the Benny. I'm like, okay, what's that one?
No, he was not in. He was not in The Fifth Element.
Well, that's what I was asking.
Any movie with Adam Sandler in it will not make my top 20. I liked whichever one he was in. Was it Happy Gilmore, where he punched Bob Barker? He went, "The price is wrong, Bob." He punched Bob Barker in the face. Like, that's the one I liked.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to ask you what your favorite Adam Sandler movie is, because do you even have one?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably that movie just for that. If not for that reason, just because the supporting character, you had Carl Weathers, or maybe I'm getting Rob Schneider's character mixed up with the Water Boy, but that just stood out just because like you had all these oddball characters in the movie there, or I made that mix up with Billy Madison. But anyway, that's as much of a I thought I had on Adam Sandler other than he was on Remote Control.
Oh, Love Audio Production says Bruce Willis starred in that, right? Yes, Fifth Elements. Bruce Willis, Mia Jovovich, all-star cast as far as I'm concerned.
That wasn't long ago, was it? Or that was like in.
Did you see when Doc Roc was on Live Streaming Pros and he needed to do a microphone test? He started to do the dialogue of Zorg when he was explaining that the gun that he was trying to sell them with the buttons and the grenade launchers and the heat seeking, he went through this dialogue and Laureate was like, what are you saying? Are you okay? Are you having a stroke? I was like, I knew exactly what it was. I was like, he's quoting The Fifth Element. It was cool.
Well, it's funny where she mentioned that she's not up on our pop culture, so to actually hear that, I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense.
My Pac-Man ghost back here.
Yes.
She says, "What are they? Fish?" No, they're not fish. They're Pac-Man ghosts.
We're not that old, are we? Oh man.
I didn't think anyone could mistake the most iconic video game figure in the world as a fish. But I mean, hey, but yeah, she's not. She even says that she's not pop culture centered because she wasn't into that as a young person. But still, I was like, really? You don't know Who doesn't know Pac-Man?
Well, I mean, she didn't go into your He-Man figures or anything like that, or.
I didn't have the He-Man figures when she commented on that.
Gotcha. Was that during the Rodecaster Pro demonstration you were doing when that came up, or?
No, that I was on her show a different time, and she commented about the fish.
Gotcha.
Or maybe that they were showing lighting. No, that's what it was. I wasn't on the show. Well, I was on her show a time before that, but my photo of my studio made it on their show, and she was talking about lighting, and she commented about the Pac-Man on the photo that.
Gotcha.
Oh, I got something live streaming to talk about.
Let's hear it.
Ecamm came out with a new feature. It's in the beta version of the Ecamm, where web-based overlays will now animate through the Ecamm interface. So,
Oh, really?
for example, when people give me a tip through Stream Elements, there was just these words that would come up that says such and such tipped you, and there would be a little bing, and that's all you would hear. What it was trying to do was to animate a little animation of a little plaque that came down, and it changed shape, and it glowed, and it kind of sparkled, and inside it was, but with the former limitation, it was only the words that were showing up. It didn't support the animation. And that's done by having the software configure a web page. So when you're looking at my stream, you're actually looking at it through a transparent web page. And then it throws the animation up on the web page for 10 seconds. And then vMix incorporates that. And I could never do animations on it through Ecamm, but now I can. So
this
people tip me,
working right now?
It's working right now. I'm not in Ecamm. I'm just straight through the camera through this production. But when I do a show through Ecamm and someone tips me, now you're going to see the banner come down and sparkle and glow and announce who gave me a tip. And it'll also do it if someone subscribes to the YouTube channel. It'll do that as well. And it was trying to do it. I was all configured. It was configured since day one, all year, for a whole calendar year, all of 2020. I had the feature. It's just, it didn't support that. It's WebM is what it is. WebM is a video player, video codec, and it didn't support. Now it does, and so I'm thrilled. So now Ecamm is one step closer to vMix, because vMix could always do it.
But because like before that, you had to use Stream Elements to do the tips and everything, or
I've always used Stream Elements for the tips, but they had animated overlays.
Oh, okay.
And the animation part of the overlays never worked because vMix never supported WebM. It's a video codec standard. Now they do support WebM, and I think they've actually removed WebKit. So they switched the standards that they're compliant with. And it really makes no difference unless you're pulling in web pages as overlays. And the only way to do web pages as overlays that have any meaning is to hook into services like Stream Elements or Streamlabs. They've got these that you can configure a unique URL that's mostly blank, unless something on the internet triggers it, like a tip or a super chat or a subscribe or a membership, something that can be detected through the SDK, through the software development kit. And so when internet actions happen, if you're smart and you can build services like Stream Elements and Streamlabs, you could make these web pages that are always blank until something happens, and then a little animation, and then that web page can be inserted into the streaming software like Ecamm and vMix, and then you can have like fancy stuff happen on your screen. And otherwise, it's just a transparent layer. No one knows it's there. So anyway, bottom line, it wasn't working yesterday, and now it does work. So my production just got a little bit better.
Very nice.
Because I'm gonna have that feature.
There was a social media tool. Have you ever heard of Happs? So it allows you to stream into like different social media accounts. It's almost like a self-contained browser-based live streaming tool. But the neat thing about it is that where with YouTube you have to like hit like certain thresholds to be able to monetize your streams with the tip jar and everything like that. When you sign up with Happs, you can have that type of tool from the start, from when you sign up on the account. I found out
what type of tool? A tip jar, or
like if to receive tips. So and it was pretty interesting, and I was trying to you know how I like to tinker with stuff. So I was trying to figure out like if people like either if they had vMix or Ecamm, if they could actually stream into that platform to be able to take advantage of that. I haven't found any either notes or tutorial of anyone trying that or anything like that. But I was looking into that just because um, I know that how the thresholds can be challenging for some. So I was looking to
Well,
see if oh, go ahead.
you're, I'm a little confused because it seems like we're talking about two things. We're talking about a tip feature, and we're talking about a platform that can host your video stream.
Sorry. So it's like it's a platform that can host your video stream, but the added bet uh, into their platform. But one of the interesting selling points they have is that you can use one of their tools, which is like a tip jar thing.
So would
So
people have to go to a separate website to view your live stream?
the neat thing about it is that they can view you from your own social media platform. So let's say if you're streaming into to YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, if you use this, if you use their platform, it'll go out to your
It,
respective.
oh, is it like StreamYard where you stream to them and then they push it to the other places?
Yeah,
Okay. So it's like Restream or StreamYard where it gets your feed from your computer and it pushes your feed to the other social media places.
right. As far as I know, I don't see a way you can integrate either Ecamm or vMix into that to be able to take advantage of the
Well,
tip feature.
why wouldn't it just ride along through your RTMP?
That's the thing. I'm trying to find out if you could do that. But
Is the only plus to doing it is just to get a tip jar? There's plenty other ways to get tip jars. As a
there's
matter of fact, I'm thinking about launching a buy me a coffee service. I've
yeah,
been looking at that.
I think what was it like the past last month? I've heard a lot of people using the coffee feature. I mean,
Well, it has a lot of benefits. It takes only 5% off the top.
okay,
It doesn't collect the user information if they don't want it, or if they have an account, it'll collect it. And then the content creator gets full access to that person. They don't hide if the person wants to be known to you, which is I think the default, then
right,
you can have access to them.
okay,
And 5% is not bad. Now with Stream Elements, it's only the PayPal fee, so it's 2.9% and 20 cents on top of that. So it's, but you know, 5%. I mean, the super chats, YouTube takes 30, and that's generous. When you tip through Twitch, I think it's half.
yeah.
Doesn't Twitch take half? 50%?
I'm not sure. I haven't really used that
They
feature in
they
Twitch.
take more than 30
Uh-huh.
because YouTube wanted to break out to feel generous by only taking 30. So, you know, you've got Stream Elements 2.9,
Hmm.
Buy Me a Coffee 5%,
Okay,
and then anything through YouTube's 30,
right.
and then Twitch is 50. So, yeah,
But
I don't know.
is are they targeting the same people that YouTube and Twitch are with the coffee, or is it more like used towards like consultants or stuff? Or that's where I'm
No, they're targeting 100% content creators.
okay.
Yeah, and they don't care what platform you're on because you would send people over to buy me a coffee. But see, the thing with that type of services is their penetration into the market. Like, are people using it? Like, if people are using it, because when people use the Stream Elements,
Right.
they've got to put in they've got to put in their PayPal account, and you know, but it's not like they have an account with Stream Elements and they can just one click it any time that they want to throw me a tip.
Hmm.
With Buy Me a Coffee, the tipper would have an account with Buy Me a Coffee, so it would be seamless
Okay.
repetitively.
Yeah.
And you know, if I mean, at one time everyone was on Patreon, and
Yeah.
it was just what you did. But then Patreon started to make bad business decisions, and they started to make poor financial decisions, and it started to become a service that wasn't as good as it used to be. And people were like, "Well, I can do it. Like, what's Patreon giving me that I can't?" So anyway, Patreon, if they would have had better leadership, and that Jack Conte, you know, I love it. He's in a band. And I like his music, and at Pamplemousse with his wife and other people. It's good. It's entertaining stuff. But as a CEO, I'm not quite sure Jack Conte is where I want to hitch my wagon to, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm keeping an eye on Buy Me a Beer, and I'm trying to think of which platform do I want to sell my service. That service I talked about, where I do the deep dive of the YouTube channel and give you a remediation plan to make things better that you're doing on YouTube. And I'm thinking, well, I could set up my own WooCommerce store and do that. I could go through PayPal, or I could do Buy Me a Coffee. Like it could be a product on Buy Me a Coffee.
What's
I don't know.
What's the top contender from the choices you just listed?
Probably my website. Probably my website, which would hook into PayPal. So it'd be a PayPal link. But
right,
PayPal. I have a love-hate relationship with PayPal. They're not a good company. They're very volatile as a company. And just do a YouTube search for PayPal horror story, and you will watch 5 minutes of any random video that comes up, and you will be in tears, heartbroken at people's experiences with PayPal. It's brutal. And PayPal is not a bank. They have no regulatory oversight. They are technically a middleman for money, and they can do whatever they want with no repercussions at all. And like, oh, you said a bad word, we're taking all your money. And they will. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I feel like did this make the cut to the air grievances episode?
No, I may have. Or it might be a future episode. I don't know. Which, by the way, I have. Oh, look, it's winter time.
I'm telling you, I'm getting sick of the shoveling. So I remember last week you said you wanted to see a little bit of winter. So there you go.
Thank you.
I tried to get rid of the black snow, but with the plows and stuff like that, again, pretty teary. Let me see if I can get rid of that.
Okay. Nice. Jim Bashir says PayPal scares the crap out of me. I had over $3,000 of charges that scammers came on and told PayPal I gave them a donation. PayPal just gave them the money. Ugh. I took all my card information out of PayPal. Yeah, I cannot say I blame you, good sir. I cannot say I blame you. There are legit reasons to be so afraid of PayPal, and yeah, it's just brutal. And
I'm
trying to stay under. Well, not that it matters, but because just never mind. I don't want to say what I was going to say.
No worries. I mean, I had a colleague that sorry, I just forgot my point. It'll have to come to me when I remember it. But to your point,
one of the things, here's a horror story from PayPal. Someone sold a violin, like a $8,000 vintage violin, and apparently there's a rating system in the vintage instrument market, and the rating system is always subjective. It's not anything hard and fast. It's not like it's someone's opinion or something like that. And the seller got mad that it wasn't as described, which it was as described, and they used this rating system. And like the little 16-year-old intern or whatever, working behind the computer screen at PayPal said, well, the policy is to destroy the item and show PayPal that you've smashed it, and then we'll process the refund. And the seller was like, no, don't smash that violin. And then, anyway, that's what actually happened. And it was all over some stupid industry rating system, which is subjective. And the bottom line is PayPal doesn't know anything, doesn't know the intricacies of that world. And this vintage violin is no longer on the planet because of some stupid policy. But that's just an edge case. People have been frozen out of their account. And a lot of times they'll say, oh, we noticed a spike in business. That's fraudulent. So imagine you're a business owner and you finally have an uptick in sales, and that's used to shut your account down. And then you can't get a hold of anyone. Like, you use the forms and you submit the form, and there's no email back. There's no thank you, we've received it. There's no here's what to expect. People are just filling out these forms, and it's going into the void, and it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without their income. Then they got to get business loans because if they're locked out of their account and they have to stay afloat, and they're basically funding their business out of their pocket instead of the revenue that they've had out. And weeks and weeks and weeks to get things turned around. And a lot of people, it's been, PayPal have had a lot of problems. And now they came out with something last year, beginning of 20, I think it was toward the end of 2019. They said, okay, if someone makes a purchase and does a return, you're on the hook for the 2.9%. So imagine this. Say you're selling a $1,000 item. While you're sleeping at 2 a.m., someone could buy the item, then return it, and you would be out 2.9%. You wake up in the morning, none the wiser of what happened, and 2.9% of that $1,000 would fall out of your account. And that's now their policy, and they haven't reversed it. People are freaking out. They're like, how can this be possible? Yeah. Because what they used to do, the old policy was, it's 30 cents a transaction that PayPal keeps. So it used to be, if someone bought $1,000 and then returned it, you would be out 30 cents. And that was the cost of doing business. Okay, if you're hell-bent, if you're really bent out of shape for losing 30 cents a transaction because some sleazeball buys and then returns within a minute of each other, then okay, you can stomach 30 cents an action. But now it's 2.9%. People are selling, $10,000. People are selling $10,000, equipment. Here's a pallet of stuff. Here's a big piece of equipment, and then you could buy 10,000. A minute later, get a refund, and you've just stuck it to the merchant for 2.9%, and that's policy. That is law with PayPal. Not law. That's not the right word. And there's nothing. And so if you don't want to play that game, yes, 2% of the transaction, Jim. Yeah. 2% of the transaction. So if someone bought $100 from you and then refunded it, you would wake up Monday morning and be out $2.90. For not doing anything. It's bad. It's bad. That's why you're familiar with Joel Crawford. He's big in the woodworking community, and he does the maker T-shirts, where he'll do a custom print of everyone's logos and then sell it. He refuses to take PayPal, and good on him. Good on him. I think he uses Square or something else like that. But as a business owner, I would never put my livelihood into PayPal. Not a bank, no regulatory oversight, nothing. Joel hates PayPal, and Now the way I play it, I get money in my PayPal account, I transfer it as soon as I can. There is not a balance, a large balance in my PayPal account at any one given time. And even when you transfer to your bank account, it sends you an email that says, we've initiated this transfer on your request, that period. And it says, if there are no issues, if we don't detect any problems, this will go through in 2 to 3 business days. It says that. I read that sentence every time, and I'm like, giving it the side eye. I'm like, is this good? But anyway.
Is that like a Popeye side eye?
I don't know. But I'm told they're getting better. You know, I think a lot of it was not that this is any excuse, was they were just growing too fast. Like they didn't have the staff to support what they needed to support. But that's not an excuse. I'm not making excuses for PayPal. But I just, once I found out that they're not a bank, that they're legally set up as a money middleman that both parties volunteer to use with no legal recourse, it's tough. I keep mine less than 100, in mine. Then I take the card out and use it so PayPal can't accidentally charge it. Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, there you go.
And PayPal let some guy that was using my email address open up an account, and I'm still getting the marketing emails, even though they count supposedly. Yeah, Matthew Kellogg. Whoever Matthew Kellogg is had access to my Matthew999@icloud.com email address and opened an account. I don't know how he did it. So it was an identity thing. I tend to think it was an oopsie from Apple. I think Apple let a new user open an iCloud account with my same email prefix. They swear up and down that they didn't, but I really think they did. So anyway, I can't. Anyway, so PayPal, yeah, not a big fan of PayPal.
Which might be back on the Festivus era grievance list for 2021.
Could be. Oh, I have the Festivus
poll
stream made for December 23rd, 2021. So for 9 months from now, or to 10 months from now, I've already have it scheduled. Now it's privated, like you can't see it, but it's in my my streaming studio. Yeah, it's ready to go. I can give you the URL. Let me do that.
All right. Which begs the question: why so early?
I just wanted to get it done, and then I put a Siri reminder on my reminders list to make it public in November. So I have a reminder set for November 2021. There we go, screen share. Watch this.
Oh, let me get that over there.
My screen's real super tiny. Or I should say my monitor's really large. So there it is. Can you see it? Festivus. It's there. It's ready to go. Look, December 23rd, 2021.
Jeez.
Here, let me switch it to unlisted. Save.
Okay.
And then we'll go get shareable link. Okay. And I'll put it in the chat. Okay. Everyone go to the Festivus YouTube channel link that I just put in the chat and hit the set reminder button. So you can get reminded in December of my my show, my Festivus show.
All right, let's. Oops.
Can you put that chat message up on the screen, Robert?
Oh, let me try to get that link.
Robert's pushing all the buttons.
Yeah. I was just trying to get that over to Facebook.
There you go. Now, I'm curious, if you go to All Things YouTube, the Facebook homepage, can you see that on the shelf, on the upcoming stream shelf? Can someone go to just my straight YouTube channel and let me know what you see on the YouTube channel? Just go to YouTube. Don't go to the play page. Go to the actual YouTube channel. Get there. Go to my channel. Yeah, here. Go there on my channel. I just dropped my channel. And scroll down to the upcoming live streams. Do you see the unlisted Festivus entry in the upcoming live stream? Here. I'm not seeing it on this shelf there. So scroll down past new YouTube feature. Scroll down past grow an audience. Scroll down past be awesome on YouTube course. What do you see in that area right there? That I would be anxious to see what people are seeing there. I think it's just my show coming up on the 15th. We shall see, I suppose.
Indeed.
Well, Robert, that's all I have for this evening. What else you got?
Well, I had to catch my language there. Not a whole heck of a lot, but I thought I'd just take a quick look to see if there's any other pending questions. But I think we've asked all the questions that that remain in the chat stream. So, and for those that are watching the replay, you can find some of the answers that we have of some of the questions here.
Jim Bashir says 315 days. LOL.
Yeah, that's a bit in advance for sure. So
I'm in it to win it, baby.
Indeed. So yeah. So I think we covered everything. As I always like to ask, just to make sure that we hadn't forgotten anything, were there any final thoughts that we didn't get to, Matt?
The only other thing I want to say is I'm learning Blondie's Call Me on the piano. And it's very it's pre-advanced. It's the most advanced arrangement I've learned to date. So I'm anxious about that. In a couple week or two, maybe you'll see that on the Piano Awesome channel.
Do you have the URL you want to throw up for folks to check out when it's ready?
Oh, my Piano Awesome channel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can give you that. That is, let's see. Piano Awesome. Where's that? Where's that? Well, it's youtube.com/Piano Awesome. It's not hard to find. There it is. Okay. There you go. Piano Awesome. Link in the chat of the YouTubes.
And let me see
there it is up there too.
Let me just throw that up on the Facebook chat, so that way people can find that for the Blondie tune. People can catch out.
It's not a hard song. Well, I mean, it's got a pretty easy. That wasn't it. I can't hear myself playing, so I can't. Nah, never mind. Can't find it.
It's all good.
I could call up the sheet music and play it. I thought I could do it from memory, but I can't do it from memory.
Well, that's better than the only thing I know off by memory is Heart and Soul, and that's about it.
Yeah. Oh, I will share that my F key, it's a little bit jiggly. it makes a little jiggly sound when I play it. Not through the instrument. The instrument's just fine, but I think I'm gonna take it apart. I went online and I found out that you have to tighten a screw. So I have to remove about 30 screws to get the backer off, pop out the connections on the motherboard, remove the key bed, and then tighten one screw up, and it should make my F key a little less jiggly.
Jeez. How long have you had the piano?
Almost 2 years.
Okay.
I will have had it 2 years in May. And that's how long I've been obviously playing. So I'm almost at my 2-year mark learning the instrument.
Nice.
And I practiced 215 hours in 2020. Just through my app. Actually practiced longer doing other things on the piano. But yeah. So
which begs the question, do you take requests?
No. Because I'm not good enough yet to take requests. You would only have to be able to take requests on songs that I have played before. So go to Piano Awesome and look at my cover playlist. And if you want to hear me play a song that I already have on my cover playlist, then maybe don't want that F and key jiggling system issues. Yeah.
The only thing I have on my F key is. Oops. Let me try that again. For fire.
Fire.
So if Great Balls of Fire is on the list, I'll take that as my request.
No, don't have Great Balls of Fire. I have Sweet Dreams. I have, Knocking on Heaven's Door, Bohemian Rhapsody, Lithium, Creep, Sweet Child of Mine, Beat It, Tears in Heaven, Under the Bridge, Somebody to Love, Perfect, We Are the Champions. Are you getting it? 70s and 80s, baby. Come on, 90s.
But no,
That's what I like to play.
Nothing flame related, or?
Well, you suggest a song with the word flame in it. Oh, here I have this. That's flame. Here you go. Look, you don't have to put.
Okay.
Fermata is the eye of Sauron. That's flames.
All right, I'll take it.
I explained what that symbol means on the staff.
Nice.
All right.
And Matt, Jim had comment earlier. Matt dreams of heading up a piano bar or bowling alley lounge. Interesting.
No, Jim, I don't.
70s and maybe a little 90s for the win. Doesn't seem that long ago, but
I think ABBA's going to be my next one.
which one?
I'll tell you in a second.
All right.
It is, which one just came out? Let's see. Dancing Queen. I think I'm going to do Dancing Queen after Call Me from Blondie.
Okay. So the link's in the chat for both YouTube and Facebook. So if you want to check that out when Matt tickles the ivories, that would be the place to go. Check it out. On that note, other than that, just the other admin stuff, just information again for those that are looking for information regarding Black Lives Matter and with the NAACP. And the other thing is that for those that looking to help the frontliners, the medical community that could use a live stream video, just reach out to me and be glad to help them out anyway. Links in the description for that. So I think that's it. Matt, it's always been a pleasure. I'll be frank with the audience next week. You'll just have to keep your eyes tuned as to what we'll talk about, just because we like to keep things simple and I was gonna say loose, but I don't know if that would be the right word. I'd say just
you never know what you're gonna get.
Right, go with the flow or something like that. So, yeah. On that, this has been Verbose Wednesday. I've been here with
Matt Haas,
and I'm Robert Lee. And thanks for watching, everyone, and stay safe. Just a second. Okay. Facebook has ended. And YouTube's ended. Okay.